Question 8. An older model cell phone loses its value after its operating system becomes obsolete and is taken out of use. The phone's dollar value decreases according to the value of the data. All right, so first of all, if you were to actually do a scatter plot of this, you would see that it's exponential, and I'll show you in a minute. But this doesn't actually ask you to do a scatter plot. It just asks you to use your calculator to find an exponential model. So it's telling you what model to do. Now, notice that it's going to probably be an exponential decreasing model, right? Because as the phone starts off high value and then drops. It's just like a car. Its value drops the fastest at the beginning and then it starts to slow down. So let's go into our calculator and hit Stat, Edit, clear everything out. If you want some detailed instructions of how to use the calculator, go look up the calculator video section and in my math lab, and it has all that information in there for you. It's always vitally important that whenever you're doing these that you spend extra time going through and double checking the data. So I should have 0, 200, 1, 120, 426, 516, and 92, because it's very hard for us to grade this. If you get this problem wrong, everything else will be wrong. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do a stat plot, even though it doesn't ask us. So I'm going to go to Zoom, Stat, and you can see that the data, look, it's definitely dropping, it's definitely exponential. All right, but I didn't need to do that. All right, quit, Stat, Calc, exponential regression, enter, enter, and I get that. So it's 2, and it says round to the nearest hundredth. So 201.04, and then 0.600. Right. Does it say hundredths or thousands? It says hundredths. Stop. There we go. All right. Good. Okay. Oh, hundredths. Sorry. So I don't need that. And then to the x. So there's your model. Okay. All right. Now, how many months will it take for the phone's value to drop to $75? There's actually 2 ways of doing this. You can actually solve it using a calculator, or you can solve it doing algebra. I'm going to show you both ways because this doesn't actually say which way to do it. So I'm going to start off with the calculator. Okay, so the first things first is I'm going to switch off my stat plot because I don't want to mess with that. I'm going to go to y equals and I'm going to type in that equation, the rounded equation. I don't want to do the exact one. I want not exact one, but the one that's rounded to the hundredths. Okay. All right, now, what do we want? What equation do we want? We want to solve the equation that y value stands for the cell phone's value, right? So we're going to just simply put this in L1 or L2 or Y1 and put this in Y2 and or Y1, it doesn't matter. So in my calculator, Y1, I put this equation, and then the other one I'm going to key in 75. And I'm going to hit graph. All right, so here is our model, and here is that, and where those two, the 75. So this is the value of the function, and we want to find out the value of the phone. And we want to find out when the value of the phone hits $75, and this represents $75. So the solution is just finding out the intersection point. And this is something that we've already done quite a lot, right? And because of that, we're using the calculator, and we get x equals 1.9. So it says round to the nearest tenth. So so the phone drops to $75 after 2 months. Sorry, after 1.9 months. Good. All right, now I'm going to show you how to do this doing algebra. Okay, so we've got 75 equals 201 0.60 to the x. Okay, and the first thing we do is we want to make sure this exponential bit is on its own, and right now it's multiplied by 201.4, so we'll divide both sides by 201.4. That'll get rid of that, and so we'll be left with 0.60 to the x equals 75 over 201.04. Okay, so now this is an exponential equation. How do we solve exponential equations? We hit them with logarithms. Yeah. Oh, so we're going to hit both sides with a logarithm, and the base is 0.60, 75, 201, 0.04, log base 0.60, 0.60 to the x. So these will cancel out, so I'll get x equals log 0.60, 75, 201.04. And now we just key that into our calculator. And if we have the log base b button, which we do, then we can do it's pretty easy. So I hit math, I go down to log base, I key in 0.60, I key in 75 divided by 201.04, and I hit enter, and oh, heaven forbid, look at that, it's the same answer. So, my question to you is, would you rather do all that algebra, or would you rather use the graph? Graph, algebra, same answer. Which do you prefer? I can tell you I prefer this, calculator. But if you want to do the algebra, it's fine. Now, if we ask you to do the algebra, you have to. And if we ask you to do it by graphing, you have to do that too. All right,